Well, next week will be a Galen conference on the state of the race, investing in black communities. Now, two nonprofit organizations were sponsoring this event, and I'd like to welcome their representatives this morning. Joining me is Randolph Bell. He is a special projects director with the Urban Strategies Council. And we also have Cedric Brown, who is the board chairperson of the Bay Area Blacks in Philanthropy. Gentlemen, welcome. And this is going to be, I know, a big to-do. It's going to be next week. But first of all, I'm going to ask you a little bit about this organization, Bay Area Blacks in Philanthropy. I hate to admit it, but it's one of the, I guess I've never really heard of the organization. What is it that you guys do?
Well, you know, we actually do a lot of inside the sector work. So BIP, as we call it, has been around since 1993, and it consists of black professionals who work for funding institutions like foundations, who wanted to come together to make sure that black issues, people, communities, and nonprofits are represented within the philanthropic sector. So to that end, we organize events, forums, programs, both to educate people who work for foundations and other funders, and to provide kind of a bridge of information and resources to folks who are in the community.
So it's really for outreach and information, not necessarily as a fundraising arm?
Not at all.
Not at all, okay.
But for the most part, we do get support from our member foundations, our institutional members, and from individuals, but we don't do fundraisers kind of publicly.
Right, okay. And so this event is partnered with Urban Strategies.
It is.
So what is it that that organization represents or does?
Urban Strategies Council was founded in 1987. It's a policy research and advocacy organization. It's got 3 operating programs which are kind of centered around the flagship program, which is economic opportunity. We've got 2 other program areas, which is education excellence and community safety and justice. We've got 2 support units which support all 3 program areas, one being research and technology and the other one being community capacity building.
And together, the 2 organizations have joined forces to create this program. And it's called the State of the Race, Investing in Black Communities. What does that mean?
Well, I'll say that there are 2 parts to the program. One is a gala event that we're having on Wednesday the 29th at the African American Museum and Library here in Oakland. And that is to celebrate black philanthropists. So the donors who have been working in black communities and using their time, talent, and treasure to make sure that communities benefit from kind of their largesse. So people like Deborah Santana, Vida Blue, Warren Wilson of the Barrios Trust, there are a number of folks who will receive our first Community Impact Awards.
Wow.
And then we also, on Thursday the 30th, will have the conference, State of the Race, which Urban Strategies Council has been the kind of primary convener of, if you will, that Randolph can talk more about.
Well, when we hear the title, the State of the Race, does that mean that you're talking about Black America, or you're talking about African Americans in the Bay Area? What kind of segment are you talking about?
The report that we authored is specifically for the African American community in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And what this conference will do is bring together leaders from the philanthropic, social service, and academic institution world. And it's really an important event because that doesn't happen all the time. And what they'll be doing is discussing issues of concern to the African American community. Urban Strategies Council was asked to participate based on our core skills, not only around research and data, but also the convening and facilitation work that we do, bringing together broad spectrums of the community.
So is this conference available or open to the public? Because it sounds like it's almost like a one-day think tank group of people that are really movers and shakers in that philanthropic arena.
This is the beginning, though. This is an ongoing conversation, as it must be if we're going to kind of reach the finish line on this.
And it is open to the public. There are really 3 groups of people that we think will benefit the most from it. So folks who work in the foundation sector, people who work for nonprofit organizations that work in Black communities, and also academics, folks who work in our academic institutions who study the kind of well-being and advancement of Black communities. So we're really excited about bringing these 3 groups of folks together so that people not only learn about what's happening in communities, as Randolph has described, but also will be able to start thinking about strategies for moving forward and the ways that these strategies can ultimately benefit communities, Black communities.
Right, because Randolph, you said this is just the beginning. So this is the beginning of a long road of cohesiveness, of cooperation, furthering, I guess, things that would benefit the African American community?
Yeah, and really it's to start looking at some of the data points. Data is crucial to any community building effort. Actually, there was a report that was just released by PolicyLink that says 1 in 7 Americans is experiencing poverty, but that number shoots to 1 in 4 when you talk about the African American community. So we have to really look at those things. And this will be releasing a report that we authored, and this first one is just looking at population trends in the Bay Area. So what are the population shifts that are happening within the African American community? And then subsequent reports will look at other key indicators in the African American community, including crime and incarceration, academic achievement, health and environment.
What you're really talking about is a blending of social, anthropology, politics, the economy, just everything that will really shape all of our lives. No matter whether or not you're African American or brown, yellow, white, no matter what happens, but you're really kind of coalescing together.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this is the beginning of a great road. I know you're going to have a good party.
Yes.
With the gala.
Yes.
And you're going to have a really good conference with important information. So thank you very much for sharing. People can still sign up for the conference, right?
Absolutely.
Yes,
all right, and we'll have all that information up on the screen. Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck to you.
Thank
have a wonderful
you.
event. And what we're going to do is take a break, because coming up next, a chance to hone your journalistic skills. We'll explain that when we come back.